The NBA preview and predictive tonight. I have a lean in this non-conference contest, a strong lean between the Houston Rockets and the Toronto Raptors. Houston, north of the border, Friday Night Lights NBA style, and this game will be played at Scotiabank Hardwood, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time or 4:30 real time Vegas time. The Rockets they were to check in as 3-point dogs. However, some sharp money came in early. They're now at plus 1.5. Some money came in. Most of the money right now on Houston for good reason. They have a better resume. They're more productive. While they're 5-18 straight up on the road, they're 10-13 against the number on the road. They're 12th place in the Western Conference in a dogfight to be part of that play-in postseason portion of the Western Conference bracket, up the Eastern Conference too, where 7, 8, 9, and 10 seeds play to be a part of the postseason. The trade deadline bump usually occurs and is attached to the team that's not involved in too many trades. It just is. They don't have the confusion. They don't have the lack of cohesiveness. It's a lot of work for the coaches, trainers, front office when they make a trade, especially at the deadline, and they got 4 or 6 players involved. And there you go. You got Toronto. That's what you got to Toronto tonight. The Raptors acquired Olenek, former Wooden Award nominee, Obagi, from Utah. The Raptors received Otto Porter Jr., Kira Lewis Jr., and a first-round pick. What they got was the first-round pick. That's what they wanted. The Raptors additionally sent Schrader and Young, Thaddeus Young, Dennis Schrader, to Brooklyn in exchange for Spencer Dinwiddie, or Dinwitted, depending on how you know him, who was subsequently waived. So 6 players in a trade yesterday, 3 different teams. Toronto, 2 different teams. None of them are going to be playing for Toronto tonight. The injury front, Fred VanVleet out with a groin injury. It doesn't matter. His 16.5 points and 8 assists are a beautiful thing on a nightly basis. This Houston team can play without VanVleet. They put Thompson at the point, and in truth, while they're not, the sample size is smaller, they're about 17 points better in point differential with the lineup they'll start tonight, the first 5, and I'll mention it here before I sign off. And that is, Houston ranks 8th in adjusted defensive efficiency through the whole season. They average 113.7 points per game. That's 21st in offensive efficiency. However, they're better than that. They're about 115, almost 116 now. If you go over the last month, that's who they are. This team's grown. They've melted together, and they're much better than they were in November and December. They're defensively, they're even better than they were in November. In December, they were pretty darn good. Right now, they're 112.7 across the season, 111.5 in the last month and a half. That's who they are. The victory over the Rockets last week, Friday, when these two played together, played each other, was a blowout. It was fun to watch. If you're a basketball fan, you want to see a team really take advantage of a weakness or a liability or a hole, which was in the Toronto lineup. They don't have any bigs. Where's the meat? Where's the beef? They don't have any. It escaped Toronto, and it's nowhere to be found. The Raps were abused at the rim, 84-54. That was the advantage Houston had in the paint. The Rockets shot 60%. They won the boards 49-37, and they crushed in the paint. And my understanding of the roster and the profile of this roster, and it's a good understanding, and who's available and who's not available, there's not going to be any difference tonight. That's what they're going to do. The Houston Rockets will attack the rim, and they will win at the rim. And if the Raptors make any adjustments to protect that rim with a sagging defense or a zone, then the perimeter of Houston will score in buckets of three-point shots. Take off, buckets of three-point shots go through the rim. There's no reason to think it's going to be any different tonight. None. I mean, this Toronto team has parted ways with Pascal. They've parted ways with Schrader. They've added Olenek and Obagi that won't play tonight. Listen, Quickly was a good addition. R.J. Barrett is a mispositioned player that can't subsidize his lack of length with second chance opportunities. He's just not a good fit in the NBA, not in this age of the NBA. And tonight there's no beef in the Toronto lineup, no beef to protect the rim. And Houston will, as they did last week, take advantage of this. And they go into Toronto as a dog. They leave Toronto as a dog that won outright and did so in convincing fashion. This is a Houston defense, a top 5 overall defense, and the perimeter is a solid trio that has assisted the team, and in their ranking, the league's 12th best overall in rim protection. The Houston Rockets, by margin tonight in Toronto over a scuttling, a disjointed, dysfunctional Toronto team right now, and probably for most of the second half of the season. I'm Tony Finn. I'm so damn glad you dropped by. See you Monday.